Welcome in, along with Mike Renner. I'm Steve Palazzolo. This is your Dallas Cowboys NFL Draft Recap, all powered by PFF Edge and Elite. All right, Mike, the Cowboys did not have a first-round pick, so every time we mocked for them, we said, look, they got to really have that super impact player at number 58 in the second round. But Tristan Hill, the defensive tackle out of UCF, not really where we were expecting him to come off the board.
Yeah, that was definitely a surprise. They already have a three-tech there in Tyrone Crawford, and even Malik Collins can play some three-technique. I mean, I get that they have a heavy rotation. They love a lot of bodies there on the defensive line. They love athletic penetrators. That's Tristan Hill to a T, but could have gone safety, could have gone wide out. There were other needs on this roster. I wouldn't hate it if it was a more valuable position than defensive tackle, where he's probably going to play 600 snaps for you over the course of the season.
Yeah, and he's had good, not great grades, 78 each of the last 2 years. So a little bit of projection there with Hill, long arms, and trying to see what he can get out of his bit of explosiveness off the ball. Third-round pick, Connor McGovern. Second year, they've grabbed a Connor that's going to play a little bit of guard. Is this just insurance for the other Connor, Williams, who really struggled last year, the second-round pick out of Texas?
Well, insurance for him, and then insurance for Travis Frederick, who we don't know if he's, one, going to come back, and two, if he's going to come back and be the player, the Pro Bowl, all-pro caliber center that we once saw there. So I think Connor McGovern was one of my favorite interior offensive line prospects in this class. Where they got him was, I think, very good value for his skill set, and I think he could play at the center position or guard position if you wanted a productive guy there in the Big Ten.
Tony Pollard from Memphis, a guy that we were putting our draft board together. We're like, hey, do we call him a slot receiver? Do we call him a running back? It at least adds a versatile weapon to the offense. And I always say, when you have a Dak Prescott, you have that mobile quarterback, like having these types of players, right? Like the Tavon Austin.
Yeah, he's very similar in that regard to Tavon Austin. Not obviously as athletic, but I think he can go from slot to running back and back again, do a bunch of different things, take jet sweeps in your offense, return kicks. That's the type of player he is. He's not going to, if you're pigeonholing him as a slot receiver or pigeonholing him as a running back, you're probably not going to get that much value of him. His versatility is why you'd covet him.
Two Miami defenders in the fifth round, Michael Jackson, the cornerback, and Joe Jackson, the defensive end. Michael, a corner, has some size, but very inconsistent on the outside. I think Joe's probably the better pick here just because he's got some tools to work with rushing off the edge.
Yeah, these ones are kind of interestingly different, the way they're dichotomous in that Michael Jackson, the cornerback, has elite explosiveness, looks the part wholly in terms of long arms, long speed, but his press at the line of scrimmage is terrible. He seems to never get his jam in there, is so clunky with his feet down the field. His change of direction, flipping his hips is ugly. There's a reason why a guy who looks the part as much as he does with the speed he has fell all the way to the fifth round. He got exposed routinely there at Miami, whereas Joe Jackson, the edge rusher, was actually very productive. He has a good long arm bull rush, has these long arms that he knows how to use well. He's just not explosive. Doesn't look the part from an athleticism standpoint off the edge, and so I'm not sure that he has much of that perceived upside, but I think you're getting an edge setter at the very least in him.
Rounding out day three, Donovan Wilson, safety out of Texas A&M. You know, they didn't really address safety like people expected, but he's had a couple productive years there. And then Jalen Jelks in the seventh round. There was a point where he looked like he was potentially one of the next great edges in college football. Never took the next step last year, but some tools to work with, especially in the seventh round.
Yeah, Jalen Jelks was in that Brian Burns, Josh Allen sort of category of, we like him, we need to see him put on 10 to 15 more pounds of muscle and get that explosiveness, get that bull rush to his game. Those guys did it. Jelks did not put on that sort of weight, so he's undersized and still not necessarily explosive for the position. That's not a great combo, but he uses his hands really well. So we like it from that perspective. So in the seventh round is probably, though, where he should have gone.
Good spot for Jelks there. So the Dallas Cowboys didn't have a ton to work with at the top of the draft, hit a couple positions of need. We'll see how it plays out for Dallas. We have a full write-up over at ProFootballFocus.com.